Also, if you look at where this cafe is located, it's perfect for a false flag. It's located in the center, but at the same time in sort of a back part of town, where the street outside is just for bicycles, so you can't even drive by it, just outside the entrance. Like there's a 100-meter area where you cannot drive through. And right opposite the cafe is a parking area, lots of bushes, lots of green, so you can't look in. And also the shots fired from inside the cafe went straight across the street into this bushy area. My question, who was filming it? Was he standing in the bushes just waiting? And why did he not film when the guy came running out? Why are there no people that you can see? How come the victim is said to have been shot outside the cafe? He was standing outside and he was killed point blank. Where is he?
Yeah.
I'm just pointing out, I'm just asking.
I've got that audio, Ole, if that's any good, if you want the people to hear that. I have that audio now.
Yeah, please.
Okay. This is the audio that's been released for the Danish shooting.
I realized that every time we talk about activity of those people, there will be always, yes, it is freedom of speech, but. And the turning point is but. Why do we still say but when we...
So that was the audio. Yes, you're right. No screaming, no shouting, just people running. That's incredible.
Okay. Yeah, and then when you compare, I'm going to play the raw. It's called Copenhagen Free Speech Debate Shooting Raw Footage.
Okay.
If you listen to it now, and then if on your own compare the shooting pattern. Okay, the timing of the shots. I played it twice. Can you hear? Not the same pattern.
It's completely different.
Completely different. Thank you, Alan. Thank you. Okay, so about a month ago, about 2 months ago, I was sent a very creepy image that was circulating in media on Ireland. And it was footage. I don't know where it come from, but it's 4 images. And it says, Israel now, Dublin next. And then there's a picture of a bomb. Then it says, Israel now, Paris next. The Eiffel Tower with a bomb. Then Israel now, Copenhagen next. You had the Little Mermaid with a bomb. And then Israel now, Italy next. And a bomb. Okay. So then there was a bomb thing in Dublin where, as far as I know, the bomb didn't go off. But according to official media, ISIS took responsibility. Thank you very much, very kind of you, ISIS. Then I must say, ISIS, in my opinion, total hoax. So that's why I'm saying like that. Okay, number 2 came Paris, false flag. Then number 3, Copenhagen. And here we go with me taking it apart, possibly pointing it out as a false flag. I would say very much it is a false flag. Not saying that nobody died, maybe they did, but it was carried out as a false flag, in my opinion. And so the big question is, if anyone in Italy listens, please be observant of any type of drills being advertised in local newspaper or anything like that. If you hear about it, or anyone anywhere that hears about it, please go there. Wherever they say that this drill is going to take place, go there, film them, make it very, very clear for them that they're being observed. Go there in a group of people, film everything so that they might even get cold feet and might pull back. It could be a real drill. It could be something more sinister, because so many times there's a drill that is part of the false flag, and then somewhere midway through the drill, boom, it goes live. Anyway, so please take care in Italy and be aware of what's going on there. And should anything happen in Italy, I just want to point out that I say this on the 17th of February or whatever the date is, so that hopefully we can stop that from taking place. Anyway, so let's get back to this thing. After I received this one, or I saw this image, I thought it was really creepy the way it was put together. And when this first Dublin and then Paris. So what I did was I said to people in Denmark, please, this was in the beginning of January, please be aware of, just like I say now with Italy, aware of anything like this. Should this be some kind of sinister or part of a sinister plan? So a friend of me sent a photo. He took a photo of a poster he had just seen on the 14th of January. And he said, listen, I was just walking home and I saw this poster in central Copenhagen where it said, tonight, the night between the 14th and the 15th of January, there's going to be a big drill in the train station in Nørreport. Okay. He said, could this be what you're talking about? I said, yes, thank you so much for being so observant. And I went out on Facebook, I went out on different radio programs just saying, please go there, film them, be there, so that if they're planning anything, they won't be able to pull it off. This was on the exact hour 1 month before they pulled it off here on the 15th. Could be a coincidence, I don't know. But it's exactly the night, the 14th to 15th. It was the 14th to 15th of January, now it was 14th, 15th of February. So we look at historically, on the 15th of February was one of the first major false flag operations, the sinking of the USS Maine. The ship, there was a US ship that was in the harbor of Havana on Cuba, and it exploded, and the US accused Spain of having put the bomb there. I don't know how they came up with that one, but they accused Spain of doing it. It got the whole thing going so that the war between USA and Spain was started. Spain, it's now been proven, had absolutely nothing to do with it. Either it was an accident but it exploded from the inside, or it was a false flag. But the result was that the US went out and they stole Cuba, Guam, I think Panama, and the Philippines from Spain. That was how the US came in control of these areas of the globe. So that is on the exact same date. Okay, then you have, if you remember before the Second World War, there was an awful night that was called the Crystal Night. It was called the Crystal Night because the supporters of Hitler went all over Germany and attacked Jewish shops and shops and buildings and homes and so on. And it was called the Crystal Night because there was so much crushed glass in the streets. So that this is why they call it the Kristallnacht or Crystal Night. Yes. Okay. And one of the things they smashed was the synagogues. Okay, so here we look in Copenhagen, and what do we see here? The synagogue is on Crystal Street in Copenhagen. Coincidence? I don't know. I'm just pointing it out. And then they have this big chase, and they get the guy. And I just want to say also that in so many of these interviews, I've said that when they use or when they have these patsies, they need to have them look. In the old days, it was the Russians or East Germans they used as boogeymen, and then the trend after the war, the Iron Curtain and the wall came down, they needed a new boogeyman. So they tried with having the threat from outer space, but we didn't really buy that one. So instead they came up with, who are we going to make the new boogeyman? And so they went for the poor Muslims, because they work really well with big eyebrows, with big dark eyes, and they have names like Abdul Karim Karumkara. Mm-hmm. And they pulled this one off on a magnitude so that today, when you say that your name is Abdul, directly people will think that you are a terrorist. If you say that I'm a Muslim, terrorist again, you know. So here, his name is not Abdul Karim Karumkara. At this point, I forgot his name, but have you got it?
The current one is, his name is Omar El Hussein.
I love it. I mean, what can I say? It's not Abdul Karim Karumkara. It's Oman. Could you say that again, please?
Omar El Hussein.
I love it. I love it. Okay, and he's born in Denmark. Yeah, right. Yeah. So also you see the image of him, the photo of him that is now being spread. If you look at it, this is not a photo that is taken. It is from a video tape. You can see the quality of video.
Yes.
So
it's inside a car, isn't it? It's one of those internal car cams.
Yeah, I would say possibly a hidden cam or something like that.
Yes.
But so what photo have they chosen? They've chosen one where he looks odd, where he looks strange, and it's the only photo of him, you know? And they even squeezed it together with his mouth open so he looks even more weird.
That's right.
So it's just, I would say very much...
There is there's some information that's going around about El Hussein, and I'll share that if you're happy for me to do that.
Please do. Please
do.
Okay.
Omar El Hussein. Omar Abdel Hamid El Hussein is his full name.
El Hussein.
Yes. The reported shooter who went on a terroristic killing spree in Denmark on Saturday. He targeted cartoonist Lars Vilk and a synagogue. Okay, first alleged fact about this man. El Hussein was Danish-born, 22-year-old, known to police because of past violence, gang-related activities, and possession of weapons, police said in a statement on Sunday. Local Danish newspaper reported that El Hussein was released from jail only 2 weeks ago after serving a term for aggravated assault. The head of the Danish intelligence service also told reporters that El Hussein had been known to them and they were in the process of figuring out if he had travelled to the Islamic State. There were also reports that El Hussein may have been trying to recreate the January 7th Charlie Hebdo terrorist attacks in France. Speaking to the Associated Press, Danish intelligence officer Jens Madsen said that El Hussein may have been influenced by radical Islamic literature. Quote, PET is working on a theory that the perpetrator could have been inspired by the events in Paris. He could also have been inspired by material sent out by the Islamic State group and others. Have you got any comments on that before we move on to the next one, Ole?
Yeah, I would very much ask who got inspired from the Paris thing. I wouldn't say it was Omar. I would say it's the same people have just, like we said in the last interview, it's like a rock show on a world tour, I would say. They're using the same people going from country to country. This is my opinion. I just want to say also that, later there's some footage from the back street outside this synagogue where this man was shot down. And some of the guards, they're trying to help clear the road for a big bus that is coming. Oh. What is a bus doing in a back street like that middle of the night? Okay, then there's the big sign on top of it saying evacuation.
No.
I would very much say, I can show you the images. I'm not making... So, who are they evacuating? I would say they're emptying the library for people, for equipment, for all extras, for everything, to get them out without anyone noticing, so that next morning the library can open up,
Wow.
But then they hadn't... this is the thing. they're not very good at it, or they're very sloppy, I would say, very sloppy.